morning everyone, welcome to Theme Park Parents.
I'm back!
Yep, she is back finally, but so is Ruben. We're here at London Luton Airport again this morning because today we are flying out to Poland to visit the best theme park there and one of the best in Europe, Energylandia.
And eat some good food.
Oh yeah, definitely, we're going to have some good food. This park has a total of 19 roller coasters, although a fair few of the bikini coasters, but they still have an excellent lineup. And we're hoping to get on our first ever RMC coaster. Once again, Ruben and Holly are also going in blind to this park. They have no idea what they're expecting.
No, so I accidentally saw, what did I see on TikTok?
I think you saw Speed and Hyperion.
Yeah, so I accidentally saw it on TikTok.
I've seen nothing. The mic's there, so.
Ruben hasn't seen anything, so he's going into this park completely blind.
I was watching a video on TikTok and I went, wow, this roller coaster looks cool. And then I literally looked at the description at the bottom and it said Energylandia and I was like,
oh,
damn it!
Yeah. We're getting a 8:25 flight out of here from Luton Airport to arrive into Krakow around 10 to 12. We're going to spend the day there doing some sightseeing, seeing the market. Going to Hard Rock Cafe possibly because it's decent. Yeah, and then we're getting the late evening train over to the small town of Zeta where Energylandia is located, and then we've got 2 full days at the theme park. Then, would you like to be in the video, Donald? We're also here with Holly's cousin and her other half, but they should be out of footage because they're smoking.
You don't want to show that or promote that on YouTube.
Anyway, so join us as we go to Energylandia. A nice speedy passage through security, and we're now in the departure lounge. We stopped again at Burger King for breakfast, and Holly is buying a book because she loves books.
Maybe
I think that's. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing she came for was the bookshops and the departure lounge.
Yeah, because they have airport exclusives. Airport exclusives.
Airport exclusives. Are you going to spend £17 on it?
Yeah, I think so. You're supposed to talk me out of it, not talk me into buying it.
Well, you never talked me out of buying trains.
Nerds don't talk nerds out of good things.
Exactly. We've got about an hour and 20 minutes before our flight, so we've got plenty of time to kill. Hopefully our boarding gate information will be available in about 20 minutes or so, and we'll head over there. Flying with Wizz Airlines today, and we'll be flying back with Ryanair on Tuesday, as they were the times that suited us most.
Krakow. We are in the, what's this, like the city square?
Old Town.
Yeah, in the market square. Last time we came here, it was like winter, so they had like an inside market, and this time they've got an outside market. It's absolutely beautiful.
It is considerably warmer than the last time we came here back in 2018.
Yeah, we were in like coats, hats, scarves. It was snowing. It was beautiful, but it was cold.
We've got about 6 hours here before we catch an evening train over to Zeta. It's about a 15-minute walk to the main station, and then it's about an hour journey over to Zeta, then where Energylandia is located, and we'll be staying in the Western Camp Resort, which is the sort of lodge area, which is partnered with Energylandia, where we'll be getting our park tickets as well, hopefully with a fast pass. But for now, we're just going to enjoy Old Town Krakow and do a bit of sightseeing and be proper touristy.
Yeah, so we had walked around the market. Dan has also had a bubble waffle with Belgian chocolate and
It was gorgeous. It was so good.
It looked so good. But there's so much food, like so many food stands, little like kind of trinket stands, things that are all like handmade.
So many horses as well. They're all lined up all the way. Right.
Yeah, I'm just admiring everything. It's so nice.
Yeah. So we'll join you again when we're back, probably at Western Camp Resort later tonight. We'll show you around the accommodation that we'll be staying in. We've had a fun afternoon in Krakow. We had a wander around the market, had a bite to eat, and had a really nice waffle. Yes. Yeah, I saw the man in the tower with the trumpet who comes on the hour.
He waves.
He does. He waves every single time, and then he like slams the window shut as if he's had enough.
Then took a train from Krakow main station, an hour and 6-minute journey over to Zeta.
22 stops.
And there we are. There's Hyperion.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can see it.
I don't know if you can see it in this distance.
No,
Wherever the
maybe
camera picks
not.
that up.
Going. Wow.
Oh, it looks so good.
My shoulder hurts from carrying this bag around. I can't wait to put it down.
Yeah, we've got a short walk to the Western Camp Resort and then we'll probably chill for the evening. No point in getting a day ticket for today as it's already 5 o'clock now. So
we are going to go to a supermarket and find some Polish snacks.
Get some necessities and then chill for the night, and then first thing in the morning we'll be off to Energylandia. We need to purchase our tickets still from the reception, which gives us a 5% discount and hopefully a free energy pass. Well, not free, but it's 1 zloty, which is 20 pence.
20p.
So,
basically free.
and that'll give us access to Hyperion, Zarja, Abyssus, Formula and Roller Coaster Mayan on the fast pass for both days as well, which is really decent. So we're definitely getting that. That's an exclusive for the Western Camp Resort. So when we get to our hotel, we'll give you a quick tour and then we'll probably say goodnight. We've just got into our houseboat and Holly's going to give you the grand tour.
Well, I say grand tour.
Like on a property show.
So this is our, what is this, what would you call it, decking?
Yeah, decking balcony.
Decking and the water, which is a bit
Very glary from the sun,
we've
but it's a
got
bit
like a
murky as well, yeah.
seating area. Comes with, so we're in one of the houseboats and it sleeps 5 people, but
Sizable single,
yeah.
so as it would sleep 6 easily.
yeah,
I mean,
so we've got a double bed, a sofa bed, and there is bunk beds as well. Over here we've got, they've provided us with water, tea and coffee machine, kettle, and there's a little fridge there as well.
and a Reuben for the thing.
Some sort of TV screen. Ruben has figured
It's
that out.
buffering.
We have a toilet, which is really snazzy. I love this sink. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, didn't
It's
notice
cool,
that when
yeah.
I first saw it.
And then a separate.
A very generous shower cubicle.
I'm going to demonstrate.
You're going to go in the shower? Please don't.
How should I go? It pushes. Oh, it is. Oh no.
A rain shower.
Do that? I don't want to wash my hair. I'm going to have to do a makeshift. Oh, this sink's nice too.
Anyhow, as for park tickets, we paid about £62 each for the 2-day ticket, which includes the fast pass for one for each day, which gives us exclusive fast access to about 7 uses on each day, which can spread over about 11 different attractions, which includes the main rides.
They come in like a little
lanyard
and the guy at reception, Oliver, I think his name was, he was lovely, and he said we can keep them,
yes,
which is a bonus, so we've got a little keepsake.
Yep.
He also gave us a map of the park, and breakfast is included, which we didn't know until today. So you pick your breakfast slot. They've got 4 available, and you get to have breakfast.
As for the price, it was about £130 each for a total cost of £655 for the 2 nights, which is relatively good considering what we get. There's also a free shuttle bus from the Western Camp Resort over to the park in the morning, which runs every half hour. So once we have done breakfast, we will get on that and hopefully get to park for opening.
Dan is not happy because the park opens at 10, but the first shuttle bus, which only takes 5 minutes, he's not happy because it doesn't leave until 9:30.
Well, yeah, because the next one leaves at 10, so if we miss it due to lack of capacity, we're going to be there after park opening.
Oh no, heaven forbid.
Exactly.
We have 2 days and we have fast passes. We're going to get on the rides.
Well, good morning from the Western Camp Resort. It's about 7:30 and we all woke up a lot earlier than expected. But it's nice and calm out here. The forecast for today is sunny up until about 3 o'clock, and then it's absolutely going to hammer it down with thunder and lightning. So we'll make the most of it while all the rides are still open. And we might save the water rides until the end, as we're going to be soaking anyway. We're going to head down to breakfast, which is included in the price of our ticket, in about 45 minutes, and then we'll take our nice leisurely time with that before getting the shuttle train over to Energylandia at 9:30. Yes, better get the TikTok.
Also, recovery position.
There's a Reuben.
Oh, my phone was refining that picture. Sorry, hands up. Woo!
On the road train.
I think I'll wake up onto the rides. Hopefully by the first one. It's a lot about the rides coming on, yeah. We are here.
I can't wait to get in. It's about 6 minutes to opening now, which will bring us in about 9:45, but that's fine if we get into some food queues, or if they just open up to get the crowds through so there's no mass stampede.
There seems to be loads of people opening.
It's not a massive crowd yet. I haven't actually decided what ride we're going to go to first.
I thought you had that the whole day.
We should start with the back because that does get low crowd levels first, like Sergeant and the family
I have no idea
It's a long walk to the back of the park anyway, but we'll take some videos.
on the big one first. We want to start with Hyperion.
Everyone's going to go to that, I reckon.
It's going to be right at the beginning.
We've got through the front gates and now we're just in a second holding area, waiting for 10 o'clock I assume. You can see Zarja is stuck on the lift hill, but hopefully that's a standard test procedure. I hope we'll be getting on that more or less first thing, but we will head to Abyssus first, so we don't start with the highlight of the day. Save the better rides for not first thing.
So excited.
Same. We are going to start off our day with a ride on Abyssus, the 2021 Vekoma multi-launch coaster. I cannot wait to get the day started here. Haven't seen it testing yet, but I imagine that because of the size of the park, there's actually nobody here yet left to queue for it yet. Queue line looks open, so here we go. Hard to remember where the bloody it goes.
God, that was so
That
good.
was such a good coaster that was. That was a business. And that was a hell of a long ride. That just kept going and going.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we're going to come to the end in a second, and we did not come to the end.
No. That second launch took me by surprise
Yeah,
as well.
it did, definitely.
I think we're going to go over to Light Explorers now. Quite a nice tame family ride. Had a nice tame back row ride there on Light Explorers. The one of two family Vekoma boomerangs at this park because they just have everything.
That one was tame.
Yeah.
It was fun.
There's a good follow-up to Abyssus though.
No, Abyssus at the minute. Obviously, it's the only one that I've been on, but that's so much. But it's Beat Smiler.
Really? Already? I said I'd get you a new number one on this trip.
Yeah, it's Beat Smiler. That was so good.
We are going to head to the big one now and get one of the main attractions of this trip done. We're going for a ride on Zadra. First RMC, hopefully my number one coaster
Oh,
after
and you
this
want to
trip.
sit next to me on it?
I want to sit next to you. I've got to share my first experience on an RMC with you.
With me. He sounds so disappointed.
Yes. Off we go. Now we are currently walking through the longest queue line ever. Still advertised on a 0-minute wait, but it looks like they're only running one train today. I guess it is off peak, but if it means we wait 0 minutes still, I don't really care.
Oh my goodness. I can't even repeat the same phrase I was screaming the whole way round Zadra.
That was that was unlike anything I have ever done, to be fair. That was actually indescribable.
And for the sheer, I don't even know, it's mental.
The pacing, the elements, the smoothness of it overall, the airtime, it's just a complete package. It's just awesome.
All done with a seatbelt and a lap
and
bar.
yeah. We had 2 back-to-back rides because it was pretty much walk on. We did 3 rows from the back, and then I did back row. It's so brilliant, honestly.
Yeah, Ruben went on the back row too. It's just indescribable.
Yeah, the head chopper's on there. Ruben had to put his arms down because his arms are too long and he was going to get his arms knocked off otherwise.
So I take back what I said about Abyssus. This is my new number one.
For me, it's still level with 2 Tartus, but I'm sure we'll have more rerides on this because that is by far the best ride of the park we've done so far.
Amazed at how that's on a 0-minute wait.
Yeah,
literally walk on.
It just goes to show how many attractions are at this park. Right, quick drink, and we're going to go for a couple of family-friendly rides before we head back under the subway to do some more of the park later on. Such a quick transition into camera mode. Hello, Ruben. How are you enjoying your day?
It's pretty right.
Okay.
It's pretty alright.
It is pretty alright. How would it compare to Park Asterix?
Ooh, in terms of theming, they're pretty on par. In terms of rides, they've been pretty good.
Yeah, very good so far. So
We've only been on.
we've done Abyssus, and then we've done Light Explorers, we've done Zadra twice, and we've just been on Frida. Nice tame family coaster there. Although I was sitting next to someone who was covering their eyes. So, yeah. We're going to go for a second ride on Abyssus now, while it's still relatively quiet before we head over to Sweet Valley and do the family coaster over there. And that'll pretty much be all of the rides over this section of the park done, just before lunch, I think.
And they'll be pretty sweet.
Yes, let's go. Well, we are having an awesome day at Energylandia here so far. We've done 6 rides in an hour and 3/4. We've just done Abyssus again, our second ride of the day. Me and Holly's cousin, Gina, managed to get a front row ride on that, and let me tell you, that was awesome.
I spent more time in my seat when we were actually going upside down than I did for the rest of the ride. Like,
That's an
I was
airtime
lifted
machine,
off
that
of my
was, yeah.
seat so much. So I sat just next. I was like by myself, so we're taking it in turns because there's 5 of us. And I sat next to some random guy, and I was trying to hold back my screaming. And there was at one point he just went, "Woo!"
Emotionful, yeah. We've done Frida as well, we've done Light Explorers, and of course we did Zadra twice, so we're doing well for the day. We've got 2 more coasters to do in this area, and then we're going to head back under the subway for the rest of the park this afternoon, but we'll probably stop and get lunch at the chicken place opposite Zadra, which is supposed to be very good.
I need a nap.
Awesome day though, really low crowds, nothing's particularly long queues. The longest we waited for was for Abyssus, which has just put its second train on the track, so that's now only on about 10 minutes as well.
I don't even
Not even that. I mean, we've got the fast passes to use as well. We haven't even bothered so far because everything's just been walk on. Definitely best time of year to go. Hi, Ruben. Hello. Time for a wander over to Choco Chip Creek in Sweet Valley, which is the 2024 family coaster which opened for this main child-themed area. Of course, it's not a massively thrilling ride. However, we're going to give it a go just for the experience, really. If we get towards the back, we might get a few bursts of airtime and some slight intensity, but it's not going to be on the same scale as some of the major attractions here. Just a reminder to anyone who is coming to Energylandia, they do operate a locker system for the rides. You can buy a wristband for 30 zloty, which gives you access to all of the ride lockers all day, which is handy. Some rides you can leave your bags at the side. We've just gone to the lockers for Choco Chip Creek, and there are none available, so we're going to see if we can leave our bags at the side of the station, or whether they'll tell us to go around and find some other lockers. We'll see. There you are. Holly was very disappointed with Choco Chip Creek.
That was
I knew she would be.
Really long ride to be bored on, but I'm definitely more of a thrill seeker than...
Yeah, that was just a coaster to do because there's a coaster here to do it, so why
Dan
not?
wanted the credit.
Maybe. We did wait about 25 minutes though because we timed it very badly as they were just swapping the trains over, as there was a problem with one of them. They're only running one train as well, and for a coaster with 3 lift hills, you want to be running at least 2. So
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the 3 lift hills.
yeah, very slow throughput.
It was long though.
Yeah, some fairly, half intense moments, some decent G-forces on the
walking too
helix,
fast.
but sorry, overall just a relatively tame coaster to get on, really, to be fair. Now we're going to go to the chicken place to get some...
to get some lunch.
Oh wait, we're coming the wrong way. Oh well.
Where are you taking us?
Sorry.
We had chicken.
We had a really nice meal there, and it was so cheap as well. We had 2 meals with drinks and fries and everything that come to about 24 quid.
And I got an extra drink.
So good. Anyway, it's time for us to use our fast passes for the first time today, because we've actually not needed to use them so far, but we're going to head to Formula, which is currently sitting on a 20-minute queue. This is another Vekoma launch coaster, which opened quite some time ago as
You
one of
just
the...
ruined it. You told me that he said he wasn't going to ruin any of the coasters, but you just told me
I
there was
told
a
you
launch.
I said it was a launch coaster. Anyway, opened with the park nearly as one of the first major coasters here. Several inversions, decent speed. So I can't wait to get on this one now.
Let's go.
Yes. Front row ride there on Formula, thanks to our handy fast passes.
That was a good ride. I really liked that.
Yeah, that was really well paced, to be fair. You just did not stop in terms of speed.
That was good. They
Not parents.
So they only let a maximum of 4 fast passes on per ride,
Which
and
is
there's
fair
5 of
enough.
us.
Yeah.
So we did it in a 2 and a
3. I think Ruben got the front row on the second ride as well, which is a bit unfair, but that's just luck of the draw, to be fair. There's not a front row queue for that ride, so it's not like we're queuing,
Yeah,
going in
so
front of anyone who queued for the front row.
There was two girls that were in the second row, and they begged us to go on the front row. But at the end of the day, we were mean. We have paid to be here too, so we kept our front row seats.
Yeah, gonna head over to RMF Dragon now, which is also looking at a low queue, but we've got the fast passes. That's the first time we've used them today, so we're going to try and get all the major coasters in before the rain sets in, because it is forecast to absolutely hammer it
clouds
down
do
in
not
about
look
an
good.
hour or so. Yeah, so we're going to head to Dragon, then we'll go straight to Hyperion, because there's a chance they might shut that due to the lightning strike which happened a few years ago here. Don't know where train's coming from. We've just been for a ride there on RMF Dragon, which was surprisingly thrilling, to be fair. Me and Ruben got a backseat row, and over that first drop, you actually get a decent burst of air.
Yeah, that was
time,
really fun.
Yeah, it's quite intense in the helixes as well.
I struggled to get out of the seat though. They're very like deep and kind of slanted backwards.
They take you down.
Yeah, and I couldn't get out.
We'll use the fast passes again, just because there was a bit of a queue. And we're getting soaked right now by the water falling off speed. Quick toilet break, and then we'll do a couple of flat rides before getting on Hyperion, hopefully.
Dan doesn't want to do the flat rides, but we all do. So.
Major coasters, but yeah, we can do some.
Hate it backwards. It feels full the whole way.
We just had a
Right.
ride on a swinging inverter ship, which was horrible. Such a long cycle, very uncomfortable. Awful head restraints. Oh, Jesus.
I loved it.
Yeah, Ruben loved it. Gina was the loudest person on the ride. Couldn't hit anything
I
but
don't
her.
like going backwards, and half the ride was backwards.
Holly suggested it, and then she was terrified she'd fall out.
And I've cried.
No, I didn't enjoy that.
Oh, it was so fun. It was just your explanation.
Yeah, I think we're going to stick to roller coasters for now.
That was insane.
That was such a good ride.
I think we waited about 20 minutes for it in all.
Yeah,
Even with our fast passes.
Yeah, they're only running one train, which is a bit annoying, but it is off peak, so you can see why they try to save costs here and there. Such a good ride, though.
Absolutely insane.
The speeds it takes the elements out, honestly. It's
I
so
was
good.
not in my seat for the whole ride. Like my butt was
So
just
much air
out,
time on that, yeah.
out of the seat. At one point, I actually thought I was going to come out of my seat.
Amazing views, though.
It was. I refused to look around. I was scared.
Yeah, it was quite a drop. We'll put some more footage of the coasters in later in the vlog, but for today we're just trying to get in as many rides as possible to make sure we cover all the major attractions, and then tomorrow will all be about re-rides on some of our favourites. We're currently up on the walkway for the Hyperion sort of viewpoint, so I'm going to take a bit of footage of this ride now as it goes out and out, in and out. It's now time to tackle two very painful and relative quality coasters while we do Vikings and Rollercoaster Mayan. One of which is a spinning wild mouse and the other is a Vekoma SLC. Say no more. However, got to be done as they're here, and obviously we're trying to do as many coasters as possible, experience all the rides. Our fast passes are usable on the Rollercoaster Mayan, so we probably will use that as it's sitting on a 15-minute wait at the minute. Vikings is the worst coaster I've ever been on. Holly had a massive slam on her head due to an awful restraint system. That was so unpleasant, it was ridiculous. We then had a ride on Rollercoaster Mayan, which wasn't too bad actually, considering it's a Vekoma. It does have the new restraint type, so it's far better, but yeah, Holly definitely felt that Vikings ride. It's terrible. It's just started to rain, so I'm going to pop the phone away for a bit and we're going to do a few of the water rides, and then we'll see where we're at after that. It is due to hammer it down for the next 3 hours straight, so we'll see.
Haunted house.
Yes, haunted house. We just had a ride on Aztec Swing, which is a clone of Maelstrom at Drayton Manor and Intamin Gyro Swing. Relatively good ride. Started hammering it down just as we was getting on, so it was a bit stingy. So we're going to go for an indoor attraction next, which is the Monster House.
I don't know how I feel about the Monster House.
The Monster House.
I don't do jump scares at all.
I have no idea what this attraction is, but it's inside, so we're going to do that. So then we're probably going to head to Speed afterwards, which is the last major coaster we want to get done. And also a water ride, so we'll probably get the water ride done after that. There's a log flume, there's a rapids, there's a sort of tidal wave themed coaster ride that I want to get on as well. Just get soaking wet.
Yeah, I need to try and get through the monster house first.
Yeah.
My throat hurts from screaming.
I've just come off speed again for our second ride of the day. We've just done the rapids as well. Before that we did speed for the first time when it was absolutely hammering it down. So we are completely wet through. We might do one more water ride before we finish off the day with Zarja again.
We're going to have to use the hairdryer that's in our hotel room to dry our shoes.
It's been such a good day though, honestly. We finished our third ride on Zarja there with another
So
5 minute wait. We've got 16 minutes now to try and get over to Hyperion for the last ride of the day. 17. Okay, we're good. Ruben's grabbing a waffle and then he's going to run and catch up with us. We're just meeting with Holly's cousin Gina and then we're going to head over.
As long as we're at the queue line before 6 o'clock, we're fine.
Yes.
So that's the main thing.
We also make sure it's not too much of a long queue on Hyperion because the last shuttle train back to Western Camp Resort leaves at 6:30, which we don't want to miss because it's a long walk back to park.
Yeah, I'd rather not walk after how much walking we've been doing today.
It's been a lot.
My legs hurt.
That brings us to the end of day one here at Energylandia. We have done a ton of rides today. I think near on 20. We've done every single major coaster along with a few flats, a couple of water rides as well, and we finished off the day with an awesome ride on Hyperion, which only was running 2 trains towards the end of the day, which is really annoying because it would have been handy earlier when we queued about 25 minutes for it. But can't really complain because that is the longest queue we've had of the day. It's been walk on most rides, it's been dead. The fast passes have come in useful because we have used them to skip quite a few sort of mid-length queues, so it has been really useful. Yeah. Apologies so far for the lack of footage of the coasters because today's been just so full on. I've not really had time to stop and get some decent footage, but we're back tomorrow. We're going to separate from Holly's cousin and her other half, so they're going to do their own thing. We're just going to get a few re-rides on the best rides and then we'll take a bit more chill tomorrow because we've done so much today. But it's been absolutely great. I've loved this park. It's just had such an awesome lineup of rides, and now we're sitting on swinging seats as well.
Well, it's difficult to get it going, but it does swing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we missed the last train back to the camp resort. However, the driver just spoke to us and he said he's going to come back and pick us up specially, which is so polite. So I really appreciate that because it is quite a walk back to the resort. It's about a 10-minute train journey to be fair, so it's a good 20-minute walk back. We're going to go back, have some dinner, chill for the night, and we'll be back first thing tomorrow to get as many rides in as possible again. We've got about 5.5 hours tomorrow before we need to head off to the train station and go back to Krakow to get our flight in the evening, so that should be decent enough to get some more re-rides, especially on the top 2, Zarja and Hyperion. I personally love Speed. That was one of my all-time highlights of this trip, and Abysses. Those 2 really surprised me with how good they were.
Not wet.
You did get very wet on that, I have to say. We'll see you in the morning. Yeah, for a day back here at Energylandia. Yes.
We are ready for day 2. I'm very tired.
Yeah, but
My legs hurt from yesterday.
we're here, so I didn't get much sleep to be fair. I was up since 4 in the morning.
We digress.
Ready for another day though. We've got about 6 hours today before we need to head back over to the train station to not miss our flight this evening. So we'll definitely get time for some re-rides, and there's one top spin ride which we didn't get a chance to get on yesterday. Which
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but
No
it's
idea.
very similar to Toxicator.
It's just a small version of the top spin, yeah. So we're gonna head over on the train now. Got here a bit early because a huge group of small
secondary school
small people
children.
turned up at the camp resort last night, and they all look like they're about to get on the bus, and we missed the bus last night because of them, so got here early this morning, yeah.
Dnia pełnego atrakcji i zabawy w naszym parku.
A day full of fun and excitement in our theme park.
Jest to moment wejścia do świata pełnego magii, sięgających 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
The rope drop has just happened, everyone has rushed out, and we've just let them go forward to not get trampled.
They were like climbing underneath the barrier, that poor member of staff.
Yeah, trying to get
so
through.
scared.
Yeah, so disappointed in them. We're taking a paced walk over to the back of the park to get our first couple of rides on Zarja before it gets busy.
And then Abyssus, because I have to go on it again.
Yeah, it is good, yeah. That's probably the only 2 rides we'll do back there, to be fair, and then we'll spend the rest of the day at the front side of the park.
It's Mayan. So yesterday, after we went on Vikings, I had a really sore head, so I didn't get to enjoy Mayan when we went on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to go on it again
We'll do that.
and see if it is actually as rough as Dan's telling me.
Yeah.
Because my eyes were closed the whole time because I had a headache.
We tried to go as far forward as is per the practice when going on Vekoma SLCs. But yeah, for now, straight to Zarja for as many rides as we can get on before it gets busy.
How many?
A quick 5-minute walk, which takes us over to Land of the Dragons, where Zarja is. A bit more information on Zarja. It's an RMC, Rocky Mountain Construction hybrid coaster, one of the only ones which has been built from ground up. Obviously RMC has a reputation for reimagining old wooden coasters that come to the end of their life. However, this one was built from the ground up. During construction, part of the structure blew over in a storm, which is nice and reassuring, but they got it finished and it opened back in 2019 as the tallest hybrid in the world at 206 feet. Running one train operation yesterday, so it was slow on throughput, but due to it being off peak, we still didn't queue any more than 10 minutes for it. We're going to have our first rides of the day on it. Doesn't look like too many people are heading over here, so hopefully we get a few laps on it before it gets properly busy. Oh. Shit.
It started focusing on...
We started the day there with 2 back-to-back rides on Zarja. Annoyingly, the gate from the exit straight to the locker area was closed, so we had to re-walk the entire queue line, which is just extraordinarily long and unnecessary.
Well, got a few steps in.
Well, definitely, but it's been 50 minutes and we've done the 2 rides, so I think that might be it on Zarja for this trip, to be fair. It was running a little bit slow as it's the first ride of the morning, which, if anything, just gives a bit more hang time on the inversions, but it would have been nice if it was running faster. Can't help that though. Holly is on the phone because I think she's just had a job offer, so she's going to be ecstatic. We're going to go over to Abyssus now, probably for our last ride on that as well.
I got the job!
Nice.
Are you going to cry?
Yeah.
Well done, well done. I had a feeling you might. think we'll give Frida a miss today, as we are really just going to go on all the thrill rides again and get as many re-rides in as possible. Abyssus looks to be running only on one train, so we'll see what the queue line's like over there, but we'll get a ride on that anyway regardless of the queue. We do have our fast passes to use again for today, so we may just utilise that. I tell you now, I absolutely love Abyssus. I was so impressed by it the first time. Obviously this isn't the signature ride here at Energylandia, but I was so impressed by it. It's the length, the airtime, the inversion, the speed it takes the whole course out. Even Holly liked it as well.
I really liked it. I was impressed because it was the first ride we went on yesterday. I didn't know really what to expect from the
She even
park.
put it above Smiler to start with. It takes a lot to beat Smiler.
The only thing I find with this is it does go on for a little bit too long.
It is a very long ride, yeah.
And I think towards the end I'm like, okay, I'm bored now. Like, get me off and get me
yeah.
back to the beginning, because the beginning bit, if they had spread out the track a little bit and put the second launch
a bit further
in, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a nice halfway point.
Yeah.
They break you right after launch. I'm really annoyed with that.
Yeah, the trim brake on the top of the top hat is a bit of a buzzkill.
Because it was not on yesterday morning.
No, it was.
It's on there,
Oh.
I don't think you can turn it off really. You can.
It's just sort of in place.
Quick word about the energy pass. You can get them with the Western Camp Resort stay, but under our assumption they reset each day, so you had 6 uses per day on whatever rides they were valid for.
Well, that's what we were told. It wasn't our assumption. That's what we were told.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, but Gina just tried to go on Formula and it was rejected because we used them yesterday. However, we just used them there for a ride on Abyssus, which we didn't use them on yesterday because the queues were low, so I'm guessing that they are limited on that, in that sort of aspect.
Yeah, I think it's just once per ride over the 2 days.
Another tip about the locker system also, when you open it, it will give you an option to release or open. Yesterday, Gina opened it, we went over to Zadra, and then she wasn't able to use her wristband because she already had a locker in use by Light Explorers. So you need to release the locker before you move to the next ride, otherwise, yeah, you can't have multiple lockers around park.
So
Yeah.
you just have to look, see if it gives you a
Yeah.
confirmation.
Anyhow, we just had our third ride there on Abyssus for this trip, and probably our final as well, as it is sitting on a 20-minute queue now. Absolutely awesome ride, and I'll be looking forward to getting on it again in the future.
I'd love to point out that a 20-minute queue is like the maximum it gets to, and that's too long.
Too long for this park, yeah.
Okay,
The audacity.
40 minutes, maybe an hour.
Honestly.
It's like 20 minutes too long.
We waited for 90 minutes or something like Rita, but 20 minutes, that absolutely not.
I know, can't do that. No, I think we're going to head over to the other side of the park now, probably get back on Formula or possibly RMF Dragon again, because they're quite near the subway. But we will do Rollercoaster Mayan again quite soon, so Holly can do that without a headache. Formula is currently sitting on a 30-minute wait, so we might try and tackle that a bit later on when it's a bit quieter over the front side of the park and everyone has moved to the back. So we're going to check out a couple of other rides. Might do Rollercoaster Mayan again. A much more enjoyable ride there on Rollercoaster Mayan today than yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. So without a ringing headache from Vikings,
It's quite enjoyable.
I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. I'd happily go on that again.
Yeah, me and Holly got a front row as well, as it was just sitting
Yeah,
there.
it was just sitting there. Nobody wanted to go on it, and we were like,
Yeah,
why?
we were nearly last through the gates, but we still got it. Unfortunately, queue jumping appears to be quite excessive at this park, and we told a number of people to go back.
We had like a bodyguard in the queue.
Yeah, there was one guy who was bilingual, telling people in English and Polish to go to the back of the line, which was handy. Ruben did it as well. We don't take nothing from no one. But unfortunately, people just feel entitled that they have the ability to do so, which is annoying.
Yeah, Ruben's very tall and scary.
Oh yeah. We just had a quick ride there on Apocalypto as it was walk on. A relatively fun top spin, but nothing like the likes of Ripsaw or Toxicator. This one looked like more of a powered spin than a freefall spin.
The ladies, brace yourself. We have parts that men don't that will get squished on this one. It was good. I did have to tense quite a bit. just to, yeah.
Yeah, just to stop yourself from moving around something.
Yeah, the what are they called? Like,
The restraints.
yeah, they can only clip back so far, but the gaps between clicks are quite large.
Because I'm quite slender as well, I moved around a lot in that seat.
Yeah, because you had it on like max click.
Ruben's just gone for another ride.
There's one seat left and he could have gone on
There's
that.
2 seats left. We've gone for a sit down and then we're going to head over to Boomerang, the other Vekoma Boomerang at this park, for a nice tame family ride.
See if you can get a shot portrait.
Yeah. Still going for the love heart. A nice tame ride there on Boomerang, which was the first of 2 Vekoma family boomerangs at this park. I would say Light Explorers is slightly more enjoyable, just because it's got a bit more of an out and back layout, and the airtime's a little bit better, plus it's got better theming. But nevertheless, another coaster to add to my repertoire. You know, relatively enjoyable. I always quite enjoy going on Vekoma family boomerangs. But yeah, we're going to do Energys now, which is the other Vekoma family coaster at this end of the park, which will take us nicely to Hyperion then.
Się obstrali. No to nie jest teraz, prawda? Ja sobie się tak ten pierwszy zakręt, tak jest głowa wierści. Gdzie my jesteśmy? Ej, ekipa.
That there was Energys, which is just a small Vekoma family coaster. You know, we did it because we could, just to get another coaster in.
Coaster credit.
Yeah, I know. Relatively enjoyable. The kids would love that, to be fair. So if we do ever bring them here, that's something they can go on.
There's loads for them here, I
Yeah,
think.
a lot of these Vekoma family coasters are all 1 meter height restriction, which is really good because both of them can get on a lot here. We are now going for another ride on Hyperion, which fortunately is on 2 trains from the get-go today, because yesterday it took until about the end of the day for them to put a second train on, so the throughput was pretty shoddy for most of the day, to be fair. But it's on a 10-minute queue and 2 trains, so we're going to do Hyperion once, maybe twice. We've got just over 3 hours to fill, so we're going to do Hyperion, and then we're going to find somewhere to have a quick bite to eat. Want to do Formula again, want to do RMF Dragon again, and if we can, we'll try and do one more time on Zardra, as it'll be a lot more fast, as it'll be a lot faster this time of day than it was this morning, as it's had time to heat up now. We just had 2 back-to-back rides there on Hyperion, which was more or less walk-on. However, because it was so low queues, we decided to queue for the front row, which was absolutely awesome. It was so much different from any other row.
For people who are worried about wearing goggles that might be dirty, they rotate them and they clean them between every use. So
you also have to wear goggles on the front.
Yes. Well, they'll see that when they get to the front. But
Yeah,
yes,
but they smell really nice actually.
They
yeah.
do. They did smell really good. They were clean.
We're just
not
gonna.
after I wore them with my eyebrows sticking to
Yeah,
them.
yeah, you did lose your eyebrows. We're just going to go for a bite to eat over by Formula because that'll be our next ride. As for the plan for the rest of the day, we have 2 hours now before we need to head towards the train station. Definitely do Formula, RMF Dragon, not sure yet. Going to check out whether they put a second train on Zardra or not, because if they have, I'd like to get another ride. And then we also, yeah, not really too much else to do really. Just see what Gina wants to do if we meet up with her again later on, and then that'll be done on this awesome park. That is the best hot dog I've ever seen. A nice bite to eat there from one of the many food outlets at this place, and we're going to go for a ride on Formula now. Probably our second and last ride on this, as it is in a bit of a queue at the minute. Quite busy at the park today, considering it is a weekday and it's during Polish school term. So either there's a lot of tourists or we're missing something like a bank holiday.
There seems to be some school trips.
There's a lot of school trips, yeah, which obviously doesn't help. But it's lovely weather, to be fair. It's still relatively quiet. There's 20 minutes is the maximum queue, so you know we can't really complain at this. So yeah, we're going to get in the queue for Formula now. The Kuma launch coaster. There it goes. Just been for our second ride there on Formula. Not really much more to say there. Decent ride.
It is good.
Of the,
I like it.
Of the 2 Vekoma launch coasters in the park, I have to say I do prefer Abyssus just because it's got a bit more length to it. The second launch is pretty good. The weather here is absolutely gorgeous though. It's baking, so we're just having to sit down in the shade while we find out what Gina and Ruben are up to. And then we're getting towards the end of our day now, less than an hour here.
What was it called?
Space Booster, which is the fairground ride, which has been permanently fixed here. They all...
I decided no for that one because I didn't like Space Gun. I think I wouldn't like that one. It's very upside downy. Roller coaster upside down, absolutely fine. But
Yeah,
when I'm
flat
being
ride's not so
dangled
much.
upside down, no. And I had just had some fries and 2 churros, so after food, absolutely not. So they went off and did that.
I think we're probably going to head to the front of the park and do Hyperion 1 or 2 times because the throughput on it is just ridiculously good today, as it's running 2 trains. Not only that, but it is by the entrance of the park where we need to be in an hour anyway. So we're just going to wait for them to respond or come out the queue line, because I think they spotted us in the Formula queue line. And then yeah, we'll head to the front of the park and finish on a high. Yeah. Yeah. Whew. A quick 10-minute walk back to Zeta Park train station, and we're just about to get on our train back to Krakow, which is due in about half an hour. we'll probably finish this vlog here because I think we've shown enough. We're going to get a 20 to 9 flight back into London Luton, and then it'll be a short drive home, so there's not really much more to show other than how much of a remote station this is. There's nobody here. We are in the middle of nowhere. There's one car in the car park. We didn't see anybody else walk down here on our route. I hope the train stops here.
My feet hurt. I'm tired and I want my own bed.
We've done a lot of walking this trip, but it's been so good. We've done near on 40 rides over the 2 days, to be fair.
15k.
Done a ton of coasters, got on a load of new rides, so it's been really good. Hopefully back here in the future at some point. Can't guarantee when. But
So we probably did about 20k of walking yesterday and we're doing 15 today.
yeah, even Ruben's dead.
We're all very tired.
A long few days, but it's been worth it. It's been good fun.
It has been very fun, but I'm done. Dan and Ruben had one last ride
we had one.
Hyperion,
Yeah,
and I was like, I can't do it anymore.
No, I think they were done. We had another ride on RMF Dragon as well.
That was good.
Got back row again on that. Quite a good ride, that one. Yeah, hopefully, if any of you do decide to travel to Energylandia, you've taken some tips from this video. It is very accessible on the public transport system now that they've added this station in and the stop here, to be fair. And Western Camp Resort is a great place to stay. Highly recommend it. The fast passes were super useful that you get on that offer. I don't know if that's a year-round offer, but we certainly utilise them quite well.
They have a pool.
They have a swimming pool, we didn't know that, and a volleyball court, and a football, badminton.
And badminton, yes.
Yeah, they
so
have
make sure
everything.
you actually look into Western Camp Resort.
Yeah, they've
rather
got a
than
lot of
doing
facilities
what Dan
there.
did, and just book it and not
I
tell
just looked for
anyone.
somewhere to stay. That's all we needed. That's literally all
This
we
man cares
needed.
about nothing other than
No,
roller coasters.
yeah, we definitely could have used the pool if
We'd know.
we'd known.
Possibly, yeah. We were packing light though. We didn't pay for any extra baggage on the airline, which was nice. Right, I think we'll say our outro now because that's everything we need to do. We hope you enjoyed the ride, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.